Welcome to Speak Forward English, where we help you master the language with confidence.
Hey, Jerry, how are you doing today?
Hi, Sophia. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm good, thanks. So, I thought today we could talk about something really useful, how to talk about your mother in English. It's such a common topic, but people sometimes struggle with the right vocabulary and expressions.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, everyone talks about their mom, right? But there are so many different ways to describe her or talk about your relationship with her.
Exactly. So let's start with the basics. The most common word, of course, is mother, but in everyday conversation, Americans usually say mom or mommy if they're younger or being affectionate.
Right. And some people also say mama or ma, depending on their family or regional background. Like you might hear someone say, my mom makes the best apple pie.
Yes, that sounds so warm and homey. And then there's the more formal mother, which you'd use in like official documents or when you're being really respectful. For example, my mother works as a nurse.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And when you're introducing her to someone, you might say, this is my mom, Linda. Or if you're talking to her directly, you'd just say, mom, with a capital M in your heart.
With a capital M in your heart, I love that. Okay, so let's talk about describing your mother. There are so many ways to do this. You can talk about her appearance, her personality, or what she does.
Right. So for appearance, you might say things like, my mom has long brown hair, or she's tall and has a warm smile. You could also say she looks young for her age, or people say I look just like my mother.
Ooh, that's a common one. You look just like your mom. People love pointing that out. And when it comes to personality, there are tons of adjectives you can use. Like, you could say, my mom is very caring and supportive.
Yes, or she's patient and understanding. You could also say, my mother is the most generous person I know. Or, she's incredibly strong and resilient.
Those are beautiful descriptions, and sometimes people use more casual expressions too, like, my mom is super fun, or she's really easygoing.
Yeah, or the opposite. My mom can be strict sometimes, or she's a bit of a worrier. But that's usually said with love, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Every mom worries, right? It comes with the territory. Now, let's talk about describing what your mother does. You can talk about her job or her role at home.
hmm So you might say, my mom is a teacher, or she works in healthcare. If she doesn't work outside the home, you could say, my mother is a stay-at-home mom, or she takes care of the house and family.
Exactly. And it's important to note that being a stay-at-home mom is absolutely a full-time job. You could say, my mom manages everything at home, or she's always busy taking care of us.
For sure. And some moms do both, like, my mother works part-time and also takes care of the family. Or you could talk about her hobbies, like, my mom loves gardening, or she enjoys cooking.
Yes, and speaking of cooking, that's something people love to talk about. You might say, my mom is an amazing cook, or nobody makes pasta like my mother does.
Oh man, that's so true. Food is such a big part of how we remember our moms. You could also say, my mom taught me how to bake, or she makes the best homemade cookies.
Delicious. Now, let's talk about expressing your relationship with your mother. This is where things can get really personal and touching.
Yeah, this is important. You might say, my mom is my best friend, or I'm very close to my mother. Or if you want to be more specific, I talk to my mom every day, or we share everything with each other.
Those are lovely. And you can also say, my mother has always been there for me, or she's my biggest supporter. These expressions really show the emotional connection.
Absolutely. You could also say, I can always count on my mom, or she gives the best advice. Even if we don't always want to hear it, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. My mom always knows what to say, even when we're being stubborn about it. And if you want to talk about learning from her, you could say, my mother taught me so much, or I learned my values from my mom.
Those are really meaningful. You know, some people might also want to talk about challenges, like my relationship with my mother isn't perfect, but we're working on it, Or, my mom and I don't always see eye to eye, but I still love her.
That's a really good point. Not everyone has a perfect relationship, and it's okay to be honest about that. You could say, my mother and I have our differences, or we're learning to understand each other better.
Right, and that's part of life. Now, what about expressing gratitude? That's something that a lot of people want to do.
Oh, yes, there are so many ways to do this. You could say, I'm so grateful for everything my mom has done for me, or I don't know what I'd do without my mother.
hmm You could also say, my mom sacrificed so much for our family, or I appreciate all the little things she does. And on special occasions like Mother's Day, you might say, I want to thank my mom for always being there.
Yes, and speaking of special occasions, let's talk about how to celebrate your mother. You might say, we're taking my mom out for dinner, or I bought my mother flowers for her birthday.
Or, we're planning a surprise party for my mom. Or, I made my mother a handmade card. Those personal touches mean so much.
They really do. And when you're sharing memories, you might say, I remember when my mom used to, read me bedtime stories, or my mother always took us to the park on weekends.
Ah, those memories are the best. You could also say, one of my favorite memories with my mom is, and then tell a story. Like, one of my favorite memories with my mom is when we went on a road trip together.
Oh, that's sweet. And if you're talking about your mother's influence on you, you might say, my mom inspired me to become a teacher, or I got my love of reading from my mother.
Yes. Or, my mother showed me the importance of kindness. Or, I learned how to be strong from watching my mom overcome challenges.
Those are powerful statements. Now, let's talk about some common expressions and idioms related to mothers. There's the famous one, mother knows best.
Oh yes, that's a classic. It means your mother's advice is usually right, even if you don't want to admit it at first. You might use it like, I didn't want to bring an umbrella, but mother knows best. It poured rain.
Exactly. And there's also like mother like daughter or like mother like son, which means the child is similar to their mother in some way.
Right. You could say, she loves gardening just like her mom, like mother, like daughter. Another one is a mother's love, which refers to the unconditional love a mother has. You might say, nothing compares to a mother's love.
That's beautiful. And there's the phrase mama's boy, which is used sometimes teasingly for a son who is very close to his mother. Like, he calls his mom every day, he's such a mama's boy.
Yeah, and there's mother hen, which describes someone, usually a mother, who is very protective and takes care of everyone. My mom is such a mother hen. She's always making sure everyone has eaten.
I love that one. And here's a more formal one. Necessity is the mother of invention, which means difficult situations inspire creative solutions. Though that's not directly about your mom, it uses the word mother metaphorically.
That's true. Interesting. Now, what about when you're asking someone about their mother? What are some polite ways to do that?
Great question. You could simply ask, how's your mom doing? Or how is your mother? If you want to know more about her, you might ask, what does your mom do? Or tell me about your mother.
And if it's Mother's Day or a birthday, you could ask, are you doing anything special for your mom? Or, what are you getting your mother for Mother's Day?
Exactly. And if someone mentions their mother is sick or going through something, you might say, I hope your mom feels better soon, or please send my best wishes to your mother.
That's really considerate. You know, it's also worth mentioning terms of endearment that mothers use and that are used for mothers. Like, many moms call their kids honey, sweetie, or dear.
Oh, yes. Come here, sweetie, or how is school, honey? And children might use affectionate terms for their mothers too, like calling her mommy even as adults when they're being sweet, or using nicknames their family created.
Right. Every family has their own special names. Some people call their mom, especially if they have British influences, or mommy or madre in Hispanic families.
That's a good point about cultural variations. You know, we should also talk about some phrases that describe a mother's role or characteristics that are commonly used in English.
Yes, like, she's the glue that holds our family together, which means the mother is the person who keeps everyone connected and the family functioning.
Oh, that's a great one. Or you might say, my mom is the heart of our home, which means she's the emotional center of the family. Or, she wears many hats, which means she does many different jobs or has many roles.
That's so true for most moms. You could say, my mother wears many hats. She's a chef, a nurse, a teacher, and a referee, all in one.
And a referee, I love that. Because moms are always breaking up fights between siblings, right? Another phrase is, she's my rock, which means she's your strength and stability.
Mm-hmm. Every time I'm going through tough times, my mom is my rock. Or you could say, she's the wind beneath my wings, which is a bit poetic, but means she helps you soar and achieve your dreams.
That's from that famous song, right? It's beautiful, though. And here's another one. My mother is a saint, which you'd say when your mom is incredibly patient and kind, maybe more than you deserve.
Oh, yes. I don't know how she puts up with us. My mother is a saint. It's often said with humor, but also genuine appreciation.
Definitely. Now, let's talk about some situations where you might need to talk about your mother, like if you're at a job interview and they ask about your family or who inspires you.
Oh, that's a good scenario. You might say, my mother has been a huge influence in my life. She taught me the value of hard work and perseverance. Watching her balance her career and family showed me that anything is possible with dedication.
That's perfect, professional, but also personal. Or if you're writing an essay or giving a speech about someone important to you, you might start with, the person who has had the greatest impact on my life is my mother.
And then you'd go on to give specific examples, right? Like, when I was struggling in school, my mom stayed up late with me every night to help me study. Her patience and belief in me gave me the confidence to succeed.
Yes, specific examples make your description so much more meaningful and vivid. What about in casual conversation with friends? How might that sound different?
It'd be much more relaxed. You might say something like, dude, my mom made the most amazing lasagna last night. Or, I gotta call my mom back. She's been texting me all day.
Yeah, that's so real. Or my mom is driving me crazy about cleaning my room, even if you're saying it with affection. Friends also often share funny stories about their moms, like, you won't believe what my mother did yesterday.
Yes, those stories are usually hilarious. My mom tried to use TikTok and it was the funniest thing ever. It's all said with love, though.
Of course. You know, we should mention how to talk about your mother in the past tense, too, if she's no longer living. This can be sensitive, but it's important to know how to do it respectfully.
Absolutely. You might say, my mother passed away a few years ago, or I lost my mom when I was young. Using passed away or lost is more gentle than saying died.
Right. And you can still talk about her in a present way through memories, like, my mother was the kindest person I knew, or I think about my mom every day, or I wish my mother could have met my children.
Those are very touching. And people might share their condolences by saying, I'm so sorry for your loss, or your mother sounds like she was a wonderful person.
Yes, and it's always okay to share positive memories. People might say, my mom loved to sing, or I have my mother's recipe book and it reminds me of her every time I cook.
That's beautiful. We've covered so much. Let me just recap some key vocabulary for describing mothers. We have adjectives like caring, loving, supportive, patient, kind, strong, generous, funny, wise, and hardworking.
Great list. And don't forget strict, protective, worried, and nurturing. For talking about relationships, we mentioned phrases like close to, best friend, can count on, and always there for me.
And we talked about common expressions like mother knows best, like mother like daughter, and describing someone as a mama hen or mama goy. Plus, how to ask about someone's mother politely.
Right, and we covered different contexts from professional settings to casual conversations with friends. The key is to be genuine and speak from the heart when talking about your mother.
Absolutely. Whether you're expressing gratitude, sharing a funny story, or describing her personality, the most important thing is that your words reflect your true feelings and experiences.
And remember, every relationship is unique. There's no one right way to talk about your mother. Just be honest and respectful, and use the vocabulary and expressions that feel most natural to you.
Well said. I think we've given everyone a really comprehensive guide to talking about their mothers in English, from basic vocabulary to complex emotions, expressions, and different situations.
I hope everyone listening feels more confident now, whether you're writing about your mom, introducing her to someone, or just chatting with friends. You now have lots of tools and phrases to use.
And honestly, talking about our mothers is one of the most universal human experiences. Everyone can relate to it in some way.
That's so true. Well, I think that wraps up our conversation for today. Thanks so much for doing this with me. It was really fun.
Thank you too. This was great. I'm definitely going to call my mom after this.
Me too. All right, take care, everyone, and don't forget to tell your mom you love her.
Yes. Talk to y'all later.